let's say you get really good at something. Now you can help other people.
Right.
Do you feel good when you help other people?
Well, doing what I do, actually, I naturally fell into an occupation that allows me to feel good about what I do for other people because I genuinely do feel like, there are certain types of mortgages that I do where it's just a transaction. But when you help a single mother buy her home for the first time when she's always wanted one and she's always lived in rent control housing or something to that effect. I
Yeah.
mean, not every transaction, but there are enough of them
Yeah.
where you feel amazing after it's done. You genuinely felt like you changed someone's life. And let's face it, for better or worse, we can have a conversation about the American dream.
Yeah.
That is one of the sacrosanct, um, basically one of the epicenter portions of the American dream is owning your own home,
Owning your own home.
home ownership. So, I feel like a lot of the time when I do mortgages for people, I get that feeling of what you're talking about, being able to help others. And I naturally have incorporated that into my career, which I think is a blessing.
So it's amazing that you're saying that because that reaffirmed, like, or at least that feeling of feeling fulfilled
Yes.
from doing something that you love because you feel good at it. So therefore you love it. So then you help others. There's a
Exactly.
cyclical process.
Yeah.
That in psychology they call the confidence like cycle, I guess you could say, or hierarchy of development. Well, we were talking before we even turned the camera on, just in general about someone that, let's say, has come from an upbringing that has been very difficult, whether it was drugs, whether it was alcohol, well, would have put that in the same category, whether it was, abandonment, or whether it was some form of physical or mental abuse. What I've come to find studying psychology and studying the disciplines that interrelate around it is that when you study these things, you do know more about yourself and you
Right.
start constructing yourself. So, my theory on top of those theories is that the individual that decides to say yes to being really good at, let's say, mortgages,
Yeah.
the better you get at mortgages, the more you're going to be able to attach that betterment or that confidence to serving someone for a higher purpose.
Right.
If you attach that to a higher purpose.
Right.
If you make it about you and
Right.
your client, and not me,
Right.
you're going to operate at a conscious level of like selfishly selfless is what I would call it.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that that it only has to be mortgages, and I know you agree with that statement.
It could be
It could be anything. When you are in a service industry, even though I have a widget, my widget happens to be money for financing. As long as you put the client first and you genuinely believe that, I think you are opening yourself up to have these types of feelings of fulfillment, at least as far as your career goes. Because I know a lot of people that don't like what they do, whatever it is, and they can be making a lot of money, they can be making very little money. And I actually feel bad for them. I really,
Yeah.
really do.